like I'm about to get whacked. It's weird.
The overhead light?
I almost feel like we're sitting in the dark. There almost needs to be like a light back here or something. I don't know. It would probably bleed out everything, but
Yeah, it would. No, but no, looking at the picture, you guys look good on there. So
on this TV Pro Live, it keeps asking me if I want to do like a paid account. I just exited it out.
how's it look?
And here we go.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Sarcast. We got a packed house tonight. I am your host, Steve Lybrand. Joining me, as he does each and every week behind the glass, the engineer, my co-host, Mr. Robert Rennie.
What up?
What's up, dude?
On chilling, man. How are you?
It's a little weird in the studio tonight, but
Oh, it's because you're surrounded by
Greatness.
I'm surrounded by greatness.
Greatness.
To my right, our business partner and host of the Money Pot podcast, Mr. Nate Moss. To my left, owner, CEO, head of marketing, president. I don't know. What other titles do you have?
One-man band, Mary Poppins from Bert from Mary Poppins. One-man band. That's it. I try to play all the instruments.
Mr. Jason Fogg from Pops McCann Whiskey.
Thank you.
We are going to talk a little whiskey. We're going to talk a little Super Bowl. We're going to talk some odds. Maybe we'll talk some Super Bowl spirits. We'll just marry everything together. And if we have a chance, we'll get to some news stories that I found, as we're known to do.
I just want to say for the camera, for everybody, I only showed up because the liquor's here.
The liquor. Yeah.
That's the only reason why I showed up.
That's how Rob convinced me to get here. It's my show. He was like, there's going to be liquor tonight, right?
Yeah.
So first off, I want to start off with Jay, and I'm going to get right into the whiskey. You've got 4 new flavors, 4 new spirits,
4 new styles of whiskey. Yep.
right? So the original is an Irish whiskey, right?
Yep. It's a triple distilled single grain. It's a pre-prohibition style whiskey from Ireland.
All right. And then what's the 4 new flavors you have?
So I can kind of see them. I have a coal miner's rye, which is like the top of the top level of the palate flavorful. It's a 95% rye. It's 6.3 years old.
All right.
I have a train whistle wheat, which is a wheated bourbon.
That's new. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I named all these things. So this was coal miner's rye, train whistle wheat. That's a 45% wheated bourbon. I have a Kentucky bourbon, which is called the Feather and the Cap. And I have the natural apple rested in cider barrels for 5 months called Pops McCann Apple Huckster Rye. You know, so it has a play on prohibition and play on old school occupations and old school lore.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the things that I
you need to get some pictures of the train whiskey stuff out on the track.
That's a great idea.
Oh, now you boys
you got to
that.
do it hobo style.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's
Listen,
exactly
I
right.
know a guy who works on the railroad. He can tell you where to be and when to do it. He'll get you a train.
That'll be perfect.
Yeah, that would be great.
Rob will hook you up.
Let's do it.
I like it.
I'll see what I can do.
You got to get some patchy jeans, and we'll just catch you running with your suitcase to just do that. That's your train huckster commercial, dude. Your train whistle commercial.
Yeah, and that plays a part. The story, the train whistle wheat plays the story of him jumping on a train in 1917. Basically, him himself, the future tree of life to the family, jumps on this train, comes down from Scranton where he left the coal mines. His mother just passed away. He buried his mother. Jumps on a train, comes to Philadelphia and starts a new life. Says the heck with the coal mines, and that pays homage to that, the symbolism of that, and hope everybody connects to that with their family while we're all alive,
So one of the things I think is awesome about the company is you didn't just start a whiskey company. You basically are telling the story of your family and how you it's almost like if you're following along with Jay and you follow along with his company, you actually get to learn more and more about his family as the brand grows, and he tells more stories about that you've discovered. Like, I'm sure that this has been an awesome journey for you too, of discovery, as far as, the Pops McCann story and how it goes. How did you come up with the idea? Like, tell the story of Pops and how you kind of got involved in what you wanted to do with the brand, because there's a story that goes behind it of who Pops is and what he is to your family.
Right. And just like I mentioned, he's the tree of life. I mean, he meets, on the back of this label, you can see that way, and showing the video there's that little silhouette of a picture. We all have those ancestry pictures that we grew up with in our houses. And I think that's where it resonates for me, is seeing the ancestors and the family and the grandmothers and great grandparents before us. Times were crazy then in the 1920s, late 1910s, early 1920s, 1930s, Great Depression. And I've always been a history buff, and I've always been trying to pick apart everybody's brain in my family about how and who and where and why we come from. I have a pretty crazy family, and it goes a million different ways. And, there's not enough time to explain that, but I think that's everybody's family. And the most important thing for me is bringing out my family in these whiskeys is hopefully it brings out everybody else's family in these whiskeys when they drink them. And that's the main part of it. It's everybody. We're in this together. And we got to pray to our ancestors, especially in these crazy times.
Well, your business model is just straight up grassroots. Like, nobody hustles more than Jay does. Literally will deliver it to your house if you want a bottle. Tonight, if you need it.
I've seen them in the state store.
Yeah, you can get them. Where can you get where can you get them at?
So the original, over on the other side, is the original spiritual whiskey. It's available in about 170 PLCB fine wine and good spirit stores.
Nice. That's huge.
And the new brand, is that or the new line, is that in the stores yet?
They're not in the stores. They're direct from me.
Yeah.
And my distillery situation. It's a Pennsylvania crafted distillery. Mm-hmm. These are bottled in Pennsylvania with the finest #1 rated water source in Pennsylvania. That's what makes these whiskeys so good, and we'll taste these. And they'll be in stores in Delaware next week. Nice. Starting next week. So
for the new flavors, you can all get them through your website, right?
All four, they can reach out through me through the website, Facebook, phone call, email, anything.
What's the website?
What's the website?
Yeah. www.popsmccann whiskey.com.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Let's go this direction. Explain how. So for the first whiskey that you did, so you're just a guy who works for a whiskey company. You're out selling, and you went, you know what? I can do my own thing. I'm gonna start my own whiskey company. I'm passionate about it, which is super rare for anybody to find something that they're that passionate about. And just listening to you talk about it, I mean, you and I have done a couple different shows, couple different segments, and every time I see and you talk about it, like the passion that you have for the whiskey business and for whiskey is, nobody can deny that this is what you were born to do, and it just fell that this is the way that it fell for you. How did you decide that this is? How did you get into the whiskey end of it? Like, what was your aha moment?
It feels right and it feels good. And I've done a ton of history, a ton of ancestry research. I grew up in a bar in Juniata Park called Pat's Pub. My dad owns Pat's Pub for 30 some years. I had a bedroom in the basement of that bar, 4 or 5 feet from the cold box, all the drunk aunts and uncles you can possibly want upstairs. And I just always been close to it. My mom's been a career great bartender. She's one of the best in the city. That, she packs the house and she's good and she's quick. And I just grew up in the business, and it runs in the family. And other families that I found out, like Anna Hughes's family actually sold beer out of their store at Boston and Jasper Streets in Kensington. And I was a beer salesman for a long time down in Philly and then in Florida. Then I was a national sales manager for Jacquin's, and then a great eccentric, rich millionaire old man hired me and gave me a shot, and then he fired me after telling the truth, because it is what it is. And but he's that guy is no longer with us, and God bless him. But a negative of that situation turns into a positive, where I looked in the mirror and I said, you know what, I'm going to hire myself, because we're from Philly, right? And like, not all the time people understand or get us and get our passion. So I'm trying to channel this the right way. It's not like I'm not a millionaire. I'm actually, I was telling Steve, I'm pinching pennies from heaven from Bing Crosby. And
that's the way that a lot of companies start. Like, everybody, you don't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to start a business, and then you're loaded the next day. It doesn't work that way.
You build it from the muscle, man.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
and from the ground and from your foot's on the ground and you know the elbow grease and putting in the time, and that's what you're doing. Let's talk about the whiskey process. So with the original, I know that these were actually distilled over in Ireland, and you set it up over there. Explain whiskey to the to layman people who maybe want to try to get into it but don't really understand the difference between them. They see the vodka commercials, they see the tequila commercials. There's
Right.
not many whiskey commercials.
Yeah.
They don't know what's the difference. Explain
And
it.
you know, there's a whole distillery and distillation process, and that's a long conversation to have. But you know, everything is distilled at different temperatures. Vodka can just come right out of the still and add water to it and bring it to whatever proof you want, and boom, you have vodka. You have gin. You just add botanicals to the vodka. Some things are easier than others, but most of your high end stuffs like your brandies and cognacs and whiskeys and all that, they just they have to sit in the barrels, and then you know the
Aging
barrel
process, right? The barrel does most of the work.
exactly. So the aging process in the barrels, you know, lend you know itself to the whiskey, and it gives it the color. It takes all the flavors out of the barrel, and you know, as you see, the Irish one on the end is lighter than the rest. They use ex-bourbon barrels over in Ireland and Scotland, and then these are all fresh oak barrels. And
I was about to ask that.
Yeah, they use any American whiskey for the most part uses brand new virgin barrels, and that's what the color just gets. The whiskey just sucks up the color, the base, the flavor, the char.
Yeah.
Depends on heavy char, medium char, light char. There's just like the craft beer industry, there's so many tricks of the trade coming out.
Yeah.
And you know, when we go through each one, if we want, or go quickly through each one, whatever, you know, I can touch on the differences of each.
Sure.
And yeah.
So when Rob and I went to Nashville a couple years ago, not going to mention the distillery because it's a smaller competitor of yours.
Yeah, it's all good.
So we went and visited the Jack Daniel's distillery, just smaller competitor of yours.
Lynchburg, right?
Yeah. So one of the things that we were impressed by was they said the most important part of their setup there is the water that they use.
Correct. That's what I was going to say later. Yeah. It's actually the water. Yeah.
They said that the big thing for them is like you can mix whatever you want, but having the water that they use and the minerals that are in there brings out more of the flavor. You can't just say, you know what, I'm going to set up a distillery on the Delaware River and expect that water to turn into whiskey. You need very specific things and minerals. And then they talked a lot about the burn process for the barrels and shit. It was awesome. It was a great experience and like learning, you know, how they do it. Like, as you're walking through the factory, like they have a stream that goes through the factory. It's straight out of the spring.
There was, even during the tour too, you got to actually see the mash like being cooked.
Yeah.
Like in monster barrels. I mean, not even a barrel, like a pot bigger than you can imagine.
Yeah, they're big. Yep.
The thing, like, there was a fire there years and years ago, but they rebuilt on it. But the thing that I just thought was interesting was they can't just pack up their factory and move. Like, they can't just go, you know what? We want to be, you know, more of a northern company now, so we're going to head up north. Like, they need that specific spot. It's so important to their business.
You know, on the tour, it's like sort of like a cave, and that's where the water is just flowing into the whole factory, and the whole thing is coming in this stream or whatever you want to call it.
And I thought that was like wow, like that's, I mean, it's free. They don't have to pay anything for it, but it's the most important part of their brand. And you wouldn't even think about that as you're taking a shot. Like, this all starts from like a stream of water. That's it.
Yeah. So is the water like, is it like, go more into the water? Because I'm really interested, right?
All right.
Like, I'm really interested in the process because I've never even understood the process.
While I'm explaining the water process, you start setting us up with something and we'll try them out.
You want to start with the original so you know where to start, or you want to skip the original?
I'll do shots of whatever we're doing.
Right.
Shots,
I was about to say,
shots on shots. I've had the
power?
original a bunch of times. I've polished off 2 bottles of the original.
Let's go the original. It's a nice light. You don't have to finish all that. You know, just give a little sip of each, because these are 5, and some of these are high octane. There's about there's 200 proofs. I have a 95 proof and a 93 proof. So
poor Rob.
Okay.
I
only want to try the rye. It's cool.
You only want to try the rye?
Yeah.
All right. So the water.
We can set them up. I can set up another 3 because I'm not going to. I have plenty of this already.
You're good. I'm good.
Have you ever had the pops? This is your first try?
No.
Like
Remember,
I said,
when we had the
very first meeting.
The first meeting here, he was here.
Right.
With it.
Yeah. And so that's a nice mild chill. That whiskey is a spiritual whiskey. Corn's from France, distilled in aged in Ireland, pulled it out, sent on the ships, go through Quebec, the rest of Canada, down through Michigan, bottled it there. It's a spiritual journey. This whiskey was actually for the Americans that are from Irish ancestry, or anybody that has people coming on the ships, immigrants from generations ago. We're a mix mash of American people. And, this is to raise in your kitchens and parlors and wherever and celebrate your ancestors. That's what that one's about. And you could give it to grandma and grandpa, and it's not going to hurt them. This one is the next one that I would give you in the line of whiskey, because this is the most comparable to that one. The one I just gave you was the first one, was the original, is 100% corn. This one is actually 75% corn, 20% rye, and 5% barley. And this is a Kentucky bourbon.
Couple posts here. Triple G says the water brings the barrel proof down to the level you want it. And Kevin Daly says, been drinking pops at Pat's Pub since COVID hits, and he loves it. So the water part of it. So when Jack Daniel's set up where they set up, and I'm sure that other distilleries have a similar story, because there's a couple that are in Tennessee. I think Dickel's another one that's in there as well. Whatever the water that comes out of this natural spring, the mineral content, the pH levels or whatever, that's what starts the process. So if they were to go and move their factory to somewhere else and just said, hey, it's another natural spring, it wouldn't taste the same.
Right. That makes sense.
The barrel, even with the
water,
barrel,
will make everything taste the same. This whiskey goes in the barrel at 125 proof. You're tasting this at 100 proof. So there's going to be 25 proof that's been brought down by this all natural water. And this water is from upstate Pennsylvania. And from what I was told, it's the #1 rated water source in Pennsylvania. So this makes this whiskey even that much more. It's 100 proof. So it is strong. So sip on it. Take it easy on it. It's very high octane. It's a 2.5 year Kentucky bourbon. So it's still a little young, but it's a prohibition style. This is a Kentucky bourbon. So it's 75% corn, 20% rye, 5% barley. Take it easy.
I like this better.
It's intense.
I like it.
I like it intense. Better. I like it better.
That one's quiet. This one starts to get loud. And then this is where I start to open up palates around the room and telling them.
I like this better. I feel like I taste the oak a little bit better in this one.
So this one, to me, it reminds me of like a Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
It has a similar taste, but I feel like this is smoother. Which is like what your whiskey is.
I think this is stronger than the Maker's. That tastes a little bit stronger.
That's 100 proof.
Yeah.
I forget what Maker's is.
Yeah, I think Maker's like 80,
85, 90, something like that.
So while we're talking about history of whiskeys and stuff, and we're talking about Jack Daniels, do you guys know heard the story about how Jack Daniels even learned how to make whiskey from Uncle Nearest? Have you heard of Uncle Nearest? You heard about that?
Yeah.
You know about that?
Mm-hmm.
So it was actually a black, I don't know if it was a slave or just maybe it was a slave at the time, taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey.
Oh.
Which was crazy. It blew my mind. So now the family of the black man, and I apologize for not knowing his name, they came out with their own whiskey line. It's called Uncle Nearest.
I saw it. It looks really good. I see it in
actually
Delaware a lot.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. They have but what was weird to me, they have and maybe you can talk about this. They have a 93 proof and 100 proof. And I was like, it's just really, it's a little bit close. So I don't understand why they do that.
How much of the flavor disappears?
Yeah, right, exactly.
So here's the thing, just like the craft beer business, I was teaching the craft beer revolution early 2000s before it really, really took off, and then it got crazy. Well, guess what? The whiskey, 2009, I wanted to start my whiskey company before the boom hit, and I knew it was coming because I taught craft beer, and I was like, whiskey's next. And it's just getting so crazy right now that they want to have so much differentiation between proofs that there's people that want 100 proof. They want barrel. They want 100. I've seen stuff at 115 proof.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. As of right now, I don't want to go above 100 proof. I don't want to hurt people. I think I've been drinking whiskey long enough, 15 plus years, that.
Then you just get into the point where you're not drinking it because you enjoy the taste. You're drinking it just because you want to get smashed.
Yeah, well, a lot of people sip on it, and you do it responsibly. And you can, if you brought the 100 proof, you can naturally bring it down to that 90. Say you bought the 100 proof one by accident, and you're like, oh man, me and my girl, we just wanted the 93.
Throw it on ice, right?
Well, you throw it on ice and you just add a little water, and you can bring it down yourself. So this one,
but isn't that what you're supposed to do with it anyway? You're supposed to put it over ice because it opens up the flavors, right?
So
what's this one here?
I do a 3-step pops thing. I put it in a glass. I taste it straight. Then I'll go to the kitchen and I'll do the filtered water.
This one, Rob's.
Yeah. That is the weeded bourbon.
Did we
That
do
should
this
be
one
the
already?
wheat.
I thought
No.
we were doing the rye. Which one did we just do already?
No, the rye's
just-
the last one.
Yeah, there's
Right,
2
right,
ryes. This is the train whistle wheat.
I don't know
for
if you
you,
noticed.
Scott.
I keep giving him the smaller cups.
That's all right.
Here, wait.
But
wait.
the three part guy,
Oh.
just
No,
taste.
no, no.
I thought you were going to cheer. Where you going? It's a bottle cap. You don't get out of here.
I know, but I don't want to hurt anybody. This
No,
is
you gotta
93
set-
proof.
You got to
Right.
set Rob up with one. Give Rob one so he can
You want the
taste it.
train whistle wheat?
No, you wanted the rye.
The rye.
Well,
When we
we'll
get
wait
to
till
the
the
rye.
rye. We'll wait till the rye.
I'm waiting.
So the only point I forget my point is you could bring it down. But
Yeah.
the 3-part pops thing is that I do now is I pour it in a whiskey glass. I taste it with no opening up of water. Then I go to the kitchen fridge and I drop some water in it, and then I taste it, and then I put ice on it. So I do a 3 steps pops thing, and it do whatever you like at home. Don't follow anybody. Be yourself.
Yeah, no, and I completely agree. And by the way, I like the Kentucky bourbon so far. My best one so far out of the 3. Even I do like the original. The original's nice. It's clean. It's smooth. But the Kentucky bourbon has that nice little, that's nice little pop that you want from a whiskey when you taste it. It's not that burn, but it's that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you
I
get
got
that.
high hopes for the apple pucker. That's what I'm waiting for.
And you know what?
the Apple Huckster.
Everybody's different. Everybody.
Yeah, everybody's got a
has-
different palate.
Exactly.
The
So-
first show that I did for Nate, he walked in here with the Elijah Craig, and I was like, "What is that?"
Well, my son's name is Elijah, so I was like, "Oh,
What is
it's a whiskey." Oh no, it's a bourbon. I think it's a bourbon.
Yeah,
I think it's a bourbon. I'm
I was
sorry.
just-
So this
Yeah.
is just you
Not
want to
the
taste this one
slow
too. This is a rye, but it's the apple
Yeah, I'll
huckster
have
rye.
it.
Yeah.
Now this sits in. I told you about the train whistle wheat. The first one was the feather in the cap. Good luck finding feathers in caps and put them in your cap.
Thank you.
This is the apple huckster. This is finished in apple cider barrels. This is a play on him selling apples during the Great Depression. Apples here, fresh apples here, and everybody sold them for 5 cents just to get by. Everybody lost their jobs. It was crazy. So
Nice story. I like that.
I paid homage to him selling apples.
Yeah. Question for you,
Yeah.
and hopefully this could be for the folks out there. What is the quote unquote official way how to drink whiskey? Because you heard about the people whiskey. Some people like to do it with ginger. Some people like to do it with ice. Obviously we have a lot of ways of how you can drink it, but I feel like there's a right way to drink whiskey. And some people finish it with a cigar. I guess that little charred taste opens up the flavor of the whiskey too.
Yeah.
You dip the cigar into it.
You could do anything. I mean, I say everybody find their own way and do what they like the best. That's the apple huckster. That's finished in apple cider barrels for 5 months.
I'm still Kentucky bourbon, man.
I think I like the first one that I had, not the original.
What was the one we just had?
That's Popsican apple huckster rye.
That's pretty good.
No, it's good.
I like it because it's not like for me. I don't like when it like kills the back of my throat.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm
so
still
that was,
Kentucky.
like, nice and smooth. Yeah, I like that.
Kentucky.
This is what I like about my favorite thing about Pops, other than the story, because Jason just is such a good storyteller when it comes to it, is the fact that a lot of whiskeys, when you drink them, the going down, the burn that you get is just awful. All of your whiskeys are so smooth going down that you don't have that like afterburn almost.
I've been tasting them a long time, and I don't have a distillery yet, and I'm working on that, and my distillery license is going through the process, but I've been drinking whiskey a long time, and I know what I like and I know what I don't like, and I don't like that
The
funky burn that goes down your throat and gives you a
Funky.
funky taste. And this is the coal miner's rye, so another gig of being in a coal mines. This one is 100 proof. This is very bold, hearty. This would go with a steak dinner.
This is the rye, right?
That's the
The rye.
6.3 year coal miner's rye.
This does
How
make me
long
want
is it?
steak.
How long was it? distilled?
6.3 years
This
in a barrel. You see how purple it is.
Yeah.
this I'm going to get steak tonight. I'm definitely going to have steak tonight.
I would love a steak tonight. That's bold. That's hearty. It's
I really like that. That might be my favorite one out of all of them.
You
Pretty
do get
good.
that char too, that char aftertaste too.
that deep. You taste like a little rye bread.
Yeah,
Nice deep.
Yeah, I like
bready
it.
taste. Yeah.
that's close with the for me the Kentucky bourbon was, I think, because I think that one's the more classic one that I can refer to any other whiskey.
Yeah.
Because most other whiskeys are, that Kentucky bourbon. So I guess that's why I'm going there. But I think out of we got 5 bottles up there. I think out of the 5, I got 3 favorite, and I think I'm gonna have to purchase 2 today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I try to make whiskey that everybody likes, but like what I've noticed is that everybody's palate's different. Everybody's palate is on a different train, so to speak. And in 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, your palate's going to be different, and you're going to be eating fried tomatoes and your black coffee. And then if you drink black coffee, you want the coal miners. If you want sweet, you're going to want the apple huckster. I have 5 whiskeys. I got to get 7, so you can have everyone a different day of the week.
Oh, well, is that a you dropping something new for us right here on the show? You got some new flavors?
I got a lot of things cooking. I got a Pop Some Can Hero series coming out, and I'm working on working with a guy from North Catholic War Hero, Purple Heart recipient Kevin McCluskey's helping me design the Wild Bill Grenier bottle.
Okay,
so we're gonna try to raise money.
You can't sneak in there and say Wild Bill Grenier and not explain who Wild Bill Grenier is. So I know who he is because I'm a huge fan.
He's a Philly legend, a war hero.
So he's not, but so here's the thing. Philly legend, war hero first, Philly legend second. Do you guys know who he is?
No.
Nope.
Have either one of you guys seen Band of Brothers?
No.
Yes.
He's one of the guys from Easy Company. He's the guy that's from South Philly.
Band of Brothers who was in that?
So it's a Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg HBO miniseries. It's like 10 episodes long, but it tells the story of Easy Company.
Wasn't it a movie?
Back in the early 2000s.
It wasn't a movie? It was a movie, wasn't it?
A miniseries.
You're thinking Saving Private Ryan, but it's along the same lines of that. And it's a 10-part series that follows Easy Company. They were a Ranger battalion that flew into Normandy, and it follows them all the way from basic training all the way through the end of World War II. Some of them wound up going over to the Pacific, but I mean, being from here, I'm such a homer. Like I'm a homer guy, and there's a scene in the show where there's 2 new recruits that come in, and Bill Garnier is there, and the new guy comes in. He's like, immediately they're giving him shit. And he's like, where are you guys from? Ready to blast him. And the guy's like, I'm from Philly. And he's like, oh yeah, where are you from? He's like, 2nd and Wolf. And he's like, 10th and Oregon. Like, and automatically they're best friends. But that's Philly in a nutshell. Yeah. If he would have said any place else in the world, the guy would have been a dick to them the rest of the way. As soon as he said he's from Philly, automatically it's like, do you know so-and-so? Yeah. We all know somebody from some neighborhood, and that's what resonates with Philly. Everybody knows somebody from somebody's neighborhood. Yeah. What school did you go to? What parish? Whatever. That's Philly. You know?
No,
what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely got to watch it. It's got Axelrod in it.
Oh
yeah.
That's the first time you see Damian Lewis in anything.
I feel like I've seen this before.
He's phenomenal in it.
Damian
Lewis is he's the actor from Billions.
Yeah, Billions is a great show.
Yeah,
great show.
I think he's in like Homeland too. I think, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
But it's a fantastic series. I think I wound up catching it in like the 4th series. I know we're kind of off on a tangent, but that's what we do here. I think I caught that in the 4th. I caught it in like the 4th episode, and I couldn't stop watching. I watched it all the way through the rest of the way. I went out and bought the box set. Like I caught it on the 2nd run, and I went out immediately like the next day and bought the box set. But that's awesome if you're going to do a Bill Grenier.
Yeah, we have a lot of plans for that. I want to do a whole line of Pops Again Hero.
You did.
Series.
I remember that you did like a toast down there at like his
at his statue with his family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how was that? How did you get hooked up with them?
I met his granddaughter, Debbie Lynch Rafferty. I met her father, and they run the Wild Bill Grenier Foundation, and they do a lot of great things. And they gave me the blessing to do something, and that's what I'm going to do. And when it gets further along, like there'll be more news about it. And I'm working with Kevin McCluskey. Like I said, he's a Purple Heart recipient in Afghanistan. He's a war hero. He's basically our modern day Wild Bill Grenier.
Yeah.
He went to North Catholic, my high school, and we're alumni brothers. I know. Yeah, I know. But it's it's going to be. I hope it's a good thing. It's going to be a good thing. I don't hope it's going to be a good thing.
Absolutely.
The North Catholic thing, though, I'm a Frankfurt kid. You're a North Catholic.
Oh, yeah.
We're supposed to hate each other.
Yeah, I don't. My dad went to Frankfurt.
My uncles went to North Catholic.
Yeah.
My brother went there, too. He got kicked out.
I played you guys in football one year.
How'd it go?
Oh, we crushed you. Are you serious?
Look at the size
Frankfurt or
of him.
North?
Yeah.
The size of him.
Oh,
I mean,
Frankfurt or North?
he was probably the biggest on the field.
North Catholic.
Yeah,
We played
not
North
Frankfurt,
Catholic.
right?
No, not Frankfurt.
No.
No. I played in the Catholic League.
Where did you play?
I played LaSalle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah, you guys had always had a squad. I
Always
played
had a squad.
baseball. I
Yeah.
played baseball for North, so we got crushed everywhere we went.
yeah, we don't call it I don't call it North Catholic. I just call it North.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So
But yeah, so
At
he's
least-
gonna
at
be
least-
at least I
Thursday
can
night.
relate to the conversation.
yeah.
If this was Thursday night and Jimmy was here, we would be the next half hour.
He's a smart kid at the
Marcus.
table.
Oh, Jimmy?
No,
Oh,
the LaSalle boy over
Yeah.
there. He's a smart kid that got the great education.
you
Yeah.
know how easy it was to be smart at Frankfurt?
Show up. All you had to do is show up.
That's a great line.
So easy.
You know how smart it was to be at this school?
Yeah,
That should be a
Show
sh-
up.
Should be a shirt.
Absolutely.
I got all A's. Showed up.
Yep.
Right.
Listen, that's first through eighth period has just showed up.
I know a lot of Frankfurt guys. I mean, I
Listen,
they're
I
a lot
legit-
of fun. You know,
I legit 1 year because I used to walk to school with Rob, and Rob was not he's not a morning person. He's not a get up and go to school in the morning. I missed probably 60 of my first period class, and it was English. And literally, she gave me a bunch of worksheets, and I got like an A in that class. I was like, "What can I do to make up for all the time I missed? Just do these worksheets." That's Frankfurt in a nutshell. At least when I went there, do a worksheet. All you gotta do is a worksheet. You're
North,
catching up everything, and you're good.
North
I
wasn't
wish I
that
would
much
have did my
different.
worksheets.
Huh?
I wish I would have did my worksheets.
It's fucked up when you get out into the real world and realize you can't just solve everything with a worksheet.
Yeah, I
doesn't
got to
work like
college.
that.
I didn't know what a thesis statement was. Looking
Where's-
at the English teacher,
Yeah,
like, what are you
Is this
talking
guy
about?
gonna hand
man?
out a worksheet? Because if I don't get a worksheet, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
I was looking for a vocab book in English class. It's like, dude, I got to write a Shakespearean story or something.
Oh man, college was a breeze for me. A couple first year, so
Yeah.
I can't relate. Yeah,
I-
LaSalle was tough. LaSalle was tough from an education standpoint. But let's get back to the whiskey, man.
Yeah,
Let's talk about
yeah,
school.
sorry. But
I was gonna swing around this way. I want to get into we
Yeah,
got,
go
we got
ahead,
some
go that
Super
way.
Bowl action.
Yeah, let's switch it up.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
let's just real quick just preview. First off, this is a legit stat. I think Steph Curry is a career 42% 3-point shooter,
somewhere in there.
somewhere in that range.
Yep.
Tom Brady has been in the NFL for 21 years.
Yeah, I saw that stat. I know where you're going.
Tom Brady has gone to the Super Bowl in 10 out of those 21 years.
Yep.
The odds are more in Tom Brady's favor to make it to the Super Bowl than it is for Steph Curry to hit a 3-pointer.
It's unreal.
Yeah,
That's
I saw that. I
crazy.
saw that stat.
Yeah.
And like,
it's
if you
unreal.
start talking about conference championship games, he's at like what, 14?
It's unreal.
Wow.
I don't understand why. No, I'll take that back. I understand why people hate him, right? I understand why they hate the whole New England facade. But me personally, I love Tom because he keeps fucking winning.
What?
Right.
I'll say that. How can you hate him? Like, you just have to respect the guy in general.
People just
of what
hate
he
him,
does.
man. I don't
So
know what
here's-
it is.
So I'm a Tom Brady. I'm an anti-Brady guy, but I will say this. I admit that he's the greatest quarterback of all time. I think, and this is where I get into trouble too when we talk about LeBron and we talk about LeBron and Jordan. And,
I don't
and-
argue that anymore. I used to argue that to the death of me.
So here's where I look at it, and this is where the difference for me is when it comes from a sports aspect. So I can look at somebody and say, you're the greatest.
Can I try the rye again?
Which one? The deep one?
Yeah, I'll
The-
take
Yeah,
another. I'll take
yeah,
another rye
for
as
sure.
well.
For sure. And I'll sip this one. You can fill it up a little bit for
Yeah,
sure.
Top us off.
Yeah, please.
Rob's out.
Yeah,
Rob,
please.
did you get the Hardy Rye?
He did.
I mean, did you see his hat come up? Yes, he got some.
I'll take some more.
But go ahead.
So hold on, I gotta ask a question now. Are you like one of those like grandmoms where you see everybody, like you watch everybody sip it just to see what their reaction is going to be?
I'm like that
Like
when
where
I
the
cook.
grandma's like, when I cook, I'm the same way.
Yeah,
when
I'm
I do
like that when I
barbecue,
cook. Yeah, definitely.
like I sit there with my hands on my hips just waiting.
I think
For you to
everybody's
try it?
entitled to their opinions, so I don't really mind it. I know what these taste like, and I've tasted them, and I've been
there's
drinking
gotta be
whiskey
some
for
kind of-
15 years.
There's got to be some kind of joy as you're watching them and you see the smiles on people's face.
A lot
It's got
of
to
people,
warm your heart a little bit.
but yeah, it does.
sure,
A
for
lot
sure.
of people. It's funny to see who likes what though, and how. Like
Right.
a lot of the older people, like 10 years older than me, will like the train whistle wheat. Going older,
That's because
older
they're
is
all
that
accustomed
one.
to rock gut, right?
The younger like my age will like the feather in the cap,
Right.
and then it just depends on how you drink your coffee and your food and what you like.
Yeah, if you're
I might
prone to
buy a third bottle because I have a friend, an old friend. Are you? No, because I'm thinking about shout out to Phone Construction because they came in did some good things at my house for me, and they did it for free because my wife has a relationship with them, but they the one of the guys is a real old school Irish, calls me lad. You know what I mean? Good guy. So I had an old friend that is I knew from when I played football with. He's an old Irish guy, and he told me where to get a nice bucket hat that had the homelit threads in them and everything. So I got him one. Obviously, it was too small. The guy's skinny as hell, and I thought a youth large would work, right?
Some of those Irish have big heads.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So
Guilty.
I got him one, but I think
and you pass them down.
just with the history and everything, and him being an old Philly guy, I think I might have to grab him a bottle just for him, because just the history of it. These are old guys from a different generation. The old school tough Irish guys. Even though he's skinny as hell, they just keep going.
Yeah.
So
they grind.
Yeah. So just because you said that, I might have to get him something for sure.
He's probably from the River Quarter. From one of those Bridesburg, Port Richmond, Kensington, Fishtown kind of guys. I bet.
No, they're Roxborough, Manioc guys. They used to be called, roofers, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Same thing. Just uptown a little bit.
I know all about roofers.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially
Rob's dad's a legendary roofer.
Legendary.
If you wanted to find a roofer on a rainy day, just go drive by all the bars he frequents.
Yeah,
Short Pat's probably.
Maybe.
There's
I'm
probably
sure
he warmed the seat there.
Pat's before.
Or the old school ones with the lingerie ones.
Yeah.
Secrets.
Yeah. So I got a question though. So you say that it sits for 6.3
Yeah,
years.
in the barrel. Yep.
So now, do you have stuff sitting right now that you're actually
no? So like without a distillery, it's kind of like how do you really get going? And a lot of the stuff is it brings out the Prohibition times and the Great Depression times, and I source the whiskeys.
Okay,
it's pretty much what everybody does in this country. Sources whiskey and around the world. There's only a handful of people that make it, and a lot of people do that. Vodkas do it. Vodka companies do it. It's just I take the barrels and I try to do something with it, with the story, also with different water, and also put some spins on it, like the apple huckster rye, and put it in apple cider barrels, and just getting started kind of with this stuff.
Your own personal touch. That's what makes it.
Yeah, personal touches and stuff like that. But very, very soon we'll be laying down our own whiskeys. Real soon, hopefully.
Now, doing that, is that just a money move, or what? Why not keep doing the sort? I'm guessing you're outsourcing it somewhere else,
right? Yeah, it's I think it's always going to be a mixture of both.
Yeah,
I think that's what a lot of people do, and but the thing is I tell people what I do, and upfront and honest about it.
Yeah.
There's people that will actually tell you on the back of the bottle, and you'll think that they do it on the back of the bottle, and they don't do it on the back of the bottle, but they're telling everybody they do it on the back of the bottle. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
I don't like to. I say, listen, I don't personally, I'm not a distiller. I tell the story. I like to bring it all out and the ancestry and the stories, and I do presentations. I go to bars. I'll go to houses, front lawns. I'll do whiskey classes in front of anybody and talk
weddings
about all
and funerals.
Yeah, exactly.
Your kids being born, Jay will be there.
I'll do it at the baptism. I'll come to the baptism. Yeah, definitely. At the hall.
He's going to be at there for the delivery.
At a roofer's hall or something.
Delivery, conception, labor, whatever. He'll be there.
So like when you
show up and he's there at the conception, it's crazy.
So
as long as you got a bottle, I'm good.
Make your own and leave it sit in barrels, like.
Yeah, so I'm working behind the scenes with with a buddy of mine, and some confidentiality things I don't really mention, but we're going to be laying down some rye whiskey together. He's the distiller, and I'm just the Pops McCann brand and the name and the basically the brainchild behind it, and work behind the scenes. And I also have, besides the Posselkin Hero series, a couple other American styles that are going to blow people's minds, and then I have some more Irish whiskeys coming, and an Irish gin coming as well.
You have anything in Jersey right now?
I have the original in Jersey right now in certain select stores.
I only say that because I have another show after this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to buy a bottle I'm gonna put you on this show. They have a huge following.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure I'll be sipping that because I usually sip and nobody else is drinking.
Right.
Don't know why.
Yeah.
Like we're on late night. Why are you not drinking? But I'll drink it.
Podcasting and alcohol goes together.
It just has to.
Yeah, people don't understand it.
People don't.
Yeah, if your show is lacking in anything, just add whiskey.
Just add it.
Yes, it's easy.
And it's got to be Pops whiskey.
Pops,
if you add any type of whiskey, you have to add Pops whiskey because 100%. It will make it better. Like I feel fucking great right now. Yeah, so Rob, the rye is definitely growing.
Put down the time of that so we can isolate that because I need Nate yelling. I feel fucking great
right now.
That's a great soundbite.
Yes,
right, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah. Just to go back full circle where we were, as I was saying about Brady.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're gonna get back to some whiskey.
No, that's fine.
Whiskey.
No problem.
I heard Tom likes Pops.
He does. Tom does like Pops. He said that's what fuels winners, is Pops. I don't know if you have that as a slogan yet, but it should be.
No, what
Pops fuels
winners. Yeah,
it's winner fuel. I know that. So here's my thing about Tom Brady, and I think this is where people get confused in sports. You can be the greatest at something, but you're not the best. I know that sounds weird. My eyes tell me just by looking at it, there's other quarterbacks that are more skilled, that are better at the position than Tom Brady. So Peyton Manning can read a defense better than Tom Brady. He can make adjustments. And
you're measuring talent at this point.
Correct. But the greatest quarterback of all time has to be Tom Brady for what he's accomplished.
I agree.
So you can look at it and I can say that Tom Brady doesn't even crack the top 3, 4 maybe, as far as skill goes. But the guy has found ways to win. He has that intangible that says how better.
His stats say that
correct.
He's up there no matter which. Yeah.
And then that's where I get into the argument with people when it comes to Jordan and LeBron. My eyes tell me when I look at it that Jordan was a great player. He won. He won on the highest level multiple times and an amazing player. But LeBron's a more skilled player. All around game, he's a better all around player.
I can't. So this is the thing, man. I used to argue about this whole LeBron and Jordan thing. And for me, it will always be Mike. I grew up as a kid. We all grew up want to be like Mike. Right. And where LeBron is right now, he has the beneficiary of social media and just how that grows. Mike
That's also a detriment.
It is, but Mike was
LeBron.
Mike was loved.
Can you imagine how much Mike would have gotten butchered had social media
oh my god
during
like
the gambling
that's where I'm
days?
going with it.
Oh yeah, he would have got crushed.
Like Mike, how everybody knew he was. There was posters, murals of him in every country in the world, and there was nothing of like the cell phone was as big as the bottle. Back in those days.
I'm a firm believer because like I've read into this. I'm a firm believer that Michael Jordan wasn't the greatest just because he was most skilled. He was the greatest because that's what the NBA needed.
It's part of it, but it was also him. Like the Last Dance really opened your eyes up to his mental status. And his mental status was I'm a killer. Like it's just really what it is. I'm a killer on the court. And that's all I care about. People talk about, what he didn't do off the court and things like that. But he wasn't focused on that. And that's what he said. I was focused on being the best basketball player on the planet.
But so when both Jordan,
I really like this ride, though. This is growing on me.
So Greg Triple G says the rye makes a great Manhattan when in the mood for a cocktail.
Nah.
Greg's he knows his whiskey. He's the man. He's awesome. He's helped me so much. So shout out to Greg out there.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Greg. I wasn't aggressive when I said no. Let me rewind that. When I say no, it's because the Manhattan, I think it kills the taste of the whiskey because obviously you're adding the cranberry, a little lime. If I'm not mistaken, of how a Manhattan's made.
Shit, I didn't know that my man was a bartender.
I'm about my whiskey, man.
Little bitters,
little bitters and everything. But I think that I think it's good by itself, and it's great. Just that nice because it's been in your suitcase, it's been out there in the cold. Just that I don't like a room like a lot of people like whiskey room temperature.
Yeah,
I'm not. I like it chilled. I'm a chilled whiskey guy.
I'll drink
chill.
whiskey, wine, beer, anything, room temperature, cold.
Really?
I'll drink it any which way I get it. I'm not picky.
Oh man.
Swinging back around.
I like to do an old fashioned with the apple huckster rye because I mixed it with my kids' apple juice. You'll love this, I was asking for apple juice.
Because I'm a dad, and apparently I'm.
No, because I seen some of your posts,
All
and
right,
it's
fair
like
enough.
talking about Luigi babysitting the one. I read that one. That was hilarious. But I just was asking my wife, and she's like, "Here, try it. Here's a clunker," because my kids leave clunkers everywhere, and I mixed a shot and a half of the apple huckster rye and the other half ounce of the apple juice, and it was like the 95 proof was non-existent, and I was like, whoa, this is dangerous, because then the apple brought out the apple and the apple huckster, and then boom, it was smooth. And I did 3 of them in a row, and I'm like, this could get really, really dangerous.
He just sold me on
And then
4
it was
bottles.
like breakfast, and you're like, I got to get the
What?
kids off to school.
I think he just sold me on 4 bottles.
the old
does.
fashioned is
subliminal.
what I want to
Right.
I
do.
think Nate's just buying the collection tonight.
Subliminal.
That's possible. That's possible. I'm definitely getting the. I mean, I might just tell you
I
to
think
pass me
Nate
the
is gonna
bottle,
need-
and I'll just buy. I'll just take that'll be my bottle for
I
the
think
day.
Nate's just gonna take the suitcase with him. Like, just start showing it off. Like, check this out.
We can get you a personalized suitcase. I'll get you a personalized suitcase, and then you can be part-time sales of Possible K whiskey too.
Yeah. I'm definitely taking the rye. Yeah, I'm definitely taking the rye tonight for sure. I like the Kentucky Bourbon, but the rye is starting to really grow on me.
Triple G says the Manhattan is rye and sweet.
Sweet
Vermouth.
vermouth. Yeah.
Try again.
Vermouth.
I don't know what that is.
Vermouth.
Vermouth.
What's that?
It's like a dry gin, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, I'm stumping on that one.
I think vermouth is a
it
gin.
comes. There's an Italy. No, it's not a gin. It's a low proof.
I hate gin.
Greg will tell us.
Yeah, gin is terrible.
I haven't
for me.
dealt with vermouth in a while, but it's a low
It's a
proof
wine.
It's a fortified wine.
Yes, yeah. And
Ah.
it comes from Italy. There's a dry vermouth and sweet vermouth, and a lot of people use it in cocktails. And I haven't had a Manhattan in a long time. I like the old fashions because it's just bitters, it's sugar, it's whiskey, it's ice, and you just mix it up.
Mix it
Boom,
up.
It's quick, Manhattan's
Oh,
is
yeah.
like an old man, like your uncle's drink, around the holidays where he got tuned up and he had like 7 Manhattans.
Yeah, my uncle they go straight, just raw, just
My
straight
uncle
with some
drinks-
ice.
My uncle's a Kenzo from way back. He just drinks Miller Lite.
Yeah.
Or Miller High Life. Miller High Life. That's his shit.
That makes sense.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, I think you said this 3 times. Let's circle back.
Circle back.
Let's circle
Tom
back.
Brady.
Listen,
Tom
Tom,
Brady.
Tom Brady.
Listen.
Let's circle back.
Apparently, you guys don't want to talk sports, so we're not even going in that direction. So, one of the things that Rob and I do every week on the show is we find amazing news stories and then we react to said news stories. So, I'm going to burn through a couple of these real quick because we've been slamming through here for like an hour almost already.
It's the pops.
It's the pops. It doesn't
It's the
And when I
Like-
come on, the thing like flies.
It
We
flies.
were on Santa Boot first for like an hour and a half, and then another podcast. It was like we just talk about whiskey. Time flies.
It's
So
just,
just so you guys know, I'm going to give you guys an out right now. If you don't want to be involved in this news story, because Rob and I don't care. Some of these get a little
touchy.
off kilter. Just go. I'm going to pass. I'm bowing out on this one, or I'm pulling the
Each
cord.
one you could just say pass.
Just pass.
All right, fine.
All right.
But if you say pass, I mute your mic.
Yeah, you got to get muted out. You can't jump back in afterwards.
There's
So
no
the next
fun
story.
of being muted out.
All right, you ready? So, COVID testing. Has
Pass.
anybody here been? Has anybody here? Pass already. Pass. Has anybody had the COVID test yet? I think you have. I have.
Yeah.
Have you gotten a COVID test yet?
Negative.
Nope.
You have not, and you have not.
Nope.
All right. So, I got it a couple weeks ago. I got the rapid, and for everybody, because it's not that bad. That sucks. It's like jamming a hot poker up your nose. It burns like a son of a bitch. It's awful, right?
I did it. I did the county one that takes 2 days.
Did it go in your nose?
Yeah, you step back from the screen. It was outside.
Yeah.
You put it up in your nose. You twirl
Awful.
it around.
I had tears coming down my eyes because I wanted to sneeze. I wasn't crying, but you know how like when you have to sneeze and like
He didn't want to sound like a bitch.
no.
That's all that is.
Here's what it was. So I watched a woman walk up to the window before me, and as they did it, she was fine, and I'm like, oh, this is no big deal then. And I went up there, and she jammed it up there, and like I could feel like I wanted to sneeze the stick out because when they stick it up there, it's like if you've ever had like the soda burps and you burp and it comes through your nose, it has that spicy peppery
Burn.
Yeah.
that burn. It feels like that, but it's like 10 times worse. And she's up there and she's twisting and spinning it like up all the way up. And I wanted to sneeze it out, but she pulled it out before I could sneeze. So you know how like when you sneeze or you're getting ready to sneeze, your eyes water? So it was like 20 degrees outside when I got it done. And then as I'm getting ready to sneeze, my eye starts leaking and my nose is leaking on that side. And then she goes to the other side and the same thing repeats. And I turn around and look back
Why
at
do
the
they
line.
have to go both sides though?
I don't know.
Isn't one side enough? Like you're at your whatever gland this is, your third eye. You're there already. Like we're there already.
I do them as precautionary just because I'm dealing with whiskey and dropping off customers.
Yeah, no,
Trying to
I
be
get
as safe
it.
as
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
I
get it.
legit turned back to the line of people that were behind me, and like my face is beat red because my blood pressure's through the roof. My nose is leaking on both sides, and I don't want to put my mask back on and just have a mask full of snot, and I look like I'm crying. It was the biggest bitch ever on the way back to my car. So they actually have a new method that they're using in China for COVID testing. Anal swabs.
I was about to say it's got to be the other way.
It's the other way.
Got to be the other way.
I saw that.
So I can't imagine who's walking up to the window, dropping down their pants, and just sliding their asshole up to the window.
That's got to be. Oh, I don't want that job.
Right? Like it's got to be. You can't do rapid tests with that, right?
Insane.
That's terrible.
Right?
And then
So-
everybody's ass ain't clean,
No,
right?
no.
Everybody's
not at
ass
all.
is not clean.
And they
No.
all look different.
They
Probably.
all- every one of them.
Probably. I don't know.
You
I
know
don't
what I
know.
mean?
Let's just say.
But like, I just can't imagine like the person who's at the window going, "Fuck, it's another dude." And I'm saying that's coming from a chick. Like at least
Yeah.
they would assume as a chick comes up to the window, like she's at least taking care of herself a lot better than dudes do.
I think you'll be surprised at that one.
You think dudes are taking better care of themselves than women?
I didn't say that.
Just in case?
I didn't say
Just in
that.
case somebody's gonna.
I
wind up
didn't
there?
say that.
It sounded like that.
I didn't say that.
Are you saying that women aren't taking care of it?
Pass the bottle.
Yeah, pass the bottle. Where's the pops?
Did you just pass?
I feel like you pissed.
I didn't
mute.
pass.
No.
Turn me up. Don't mute me. What we got next?
And I think this happens more often than not. Woman who died of COVID returns home 10 days later. So we're in the zombie stage of COVID. So imagine this. This is a Spanish woman who her family believed that she was dead because they called home and said that, unfortunately, your family member didn't make it. They must have gotten the wrong person and called the wrong family. So one family thinks that their family member's still alive. They just have no contact. The other one thought this person was dead until, why didn't you guys pick me up from the hospital?
Right.
I'm sitting there. I was waiting. Nobody called. Nobody visited. Nothing.
Twilight Zone.
Just show back up home. You know they had a funeral for her.
Yeah.
Like, how do you call the family and go, you remember what I told you?
It was a virtual viewing.
Oh, it definitely was.
Definitely was.
How do you call like a family members and go, remember when I told you about Aunt Esther? I fucked up. She's still with us.
She's still with us.
They're probably already divvying up her assets.
Absolutely.
Oh, of course.
There's a kid
Family
who
are
bought,
vicious.
one of those kids bought a house thinking he was getting an inheritance. He's calling his real estate agent
He
going,
already kicked her out of her,
can I get out of
her
this?
old house because he knew it was left to him.
Oh, yeah. Families are nasty when somebody
Yeah,
dies.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Nasty.
Nasty.
It gets bad.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
it
like funerals and stuff, so I drove by 2 today, and it literally was like 4 cars in each one. They're short now.
Yeah, because they
might
won't
limit-
allow them. Yeah, they won't allow them that many people in like a setting like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I live actually a cemetery is not far from me, and when somebody dies, you'll see the immediate family inside, but then you see this cast of people all the way around, the gate, and it's
Because of
just
COVID.
yeah because
You
of
buy
COVID.
Holy Sepulchre by LaSalle?
No. This is in West Oak Lane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd
I'd be smart and rich if I lived out there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, well, it's not too
That's
far.
That's a good house.
I was just saying that my ancestors are at Holy Sepulchre out there by it's like Cheltenham, Glenside, Philly,
Grandfather is.
borderline.
My grandfather's an
A
always
lot of people out there.
Yeah. That was the spot. Germantown was a hot spot back in the day. A man who says he threw away a hard drive loaded with 7,500 Bitcoins.
I'll be right back. Oh no, I got to stay for the Bitcoin conversation though.
All right.
Wife's
A
calling.
man who says he threw away a hard drive loaded with 7,500 Bitcoins in 2013 is offering his city $70 million to dig it up from the dump. So here's the scenario. If you know about Bitcoin, I don't want to get into trying to explain it because it's too hard to explain.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I know.
harder for me to even understand how to explain it to you.
It's
But
not
so
hard.
this guy,
They're not finding that hard drive.
well,
but
so-
even if they did, he doesn't have the seeds or the key to get in it. I bet.
no, it's his hard drive. He accidentally threw it out.
Oh well,
He knows
he's a
exactly
fucking
what's
idiot.
on there. He didn't realize he threw it out until after the fact. And at the time, he was like, well, I probably only lost, a couple $1,000 worth of Bitcoin because Bitcoin was only worth, it wasn't worth much.
Yeah.
Bitcoin today is worth $30,000.
$30,000 a piece. Do the math
34.
on that.
34 to be exact.
That dude's insane for doing that. I don't throw a piece of paper out
30,375.
from 20 years ago. This
It's
dude's
30?
throwing a hard drive out.
Oh,
It's
did it drop
dropping.
to 30?
Yeah, it's been dropping.
Oh.
So when this article came out, it was still at 40. This is from the 16th of January.
Mm-hmm.
It says the fortune, assuming it can be recovered intact, is worth $275 million. The Newport City Council told CNN it's not allowed to excavate the site because of the warning of the environmental impact without any guarantee of either finding it or that it's still in working order. So he can't guarantee one way or the other. He's basically like, listen, if you guys as a county dig this up and we find it and I can recover it, because he has all the information, he just doesn't have the hard drive. All of the
How much Bitcoin's on there?
7,500.
That story. No sense.
Yeah, he's shit out of luck.
Oh, he's never going to find it. But
I don't know. And then if
Imagine-
he got it, it could be damaged. Like there's no way that it's in perfect working condition in a dump.
It's worth
After how many years?
$225 million. So there's
That's
two,
not bad. He said 70 million. That's a third of that wealth. That's
Yeah.
not bad.
That hard drive's not
probably be
working.
a
though.
donation,
Yeah.
though, so you don't have to pay taxes.
A 70 million donation. Yeah, maybe.
so in 2013, a British IT worker named James Howell threw away a hard drive with a digital wallet containing what was then a little known, virtually worthless cryptocurrency named Bitcoin. Fast forward, and at the time of the writing, single Bitcoin is trading at 37,000. That means that 7,500 Bitcoins contained on that hard drive would be worth in the region of $275 million.
Wow.
I'm surprised the county wasn't like, hey, we're going to help you out with this. You know what I mean? Like normally. you'd
So
think they would.
when did he throw away the hard drive?
2013.
Oh, so that's probably why they're not jumping on it though, because essentially you're gonna have to dig up the whole damn dump just to find something from 8 years ago.
Depends on how big the county is.
And how small the hard drive is. Where was it? In Britain?
Mhm.
It might not be that. Maybe they're not sifting through too much, but that's still 7 years
But
of
if it's
waste.
a smaller county,
They might
because
know
of the
exactly where it
the
is.
biological of however they have to do it, they have to move where they dump it into it. So they know in 2013 we dumped all of the garbage in this plot,
Right. Yeah.
and then in 2014 we moved it here because there's
Probably
a
in a-
time frame on what's biodegradable. So they know they can't do anything with that one spot for 30 years. So whatever's buried there, they can't touch. So they leave it there 30 years later. That's probably why they're like, hey, we can't do anything because if we open this up, there's contamination and shit that we know is 7 years
There's
old.
gas in there.
Yeah.
And shit. Yeah.
But and like even from their perspective, they're like, even if we could, we don't know that he's going to be able to find this and that it's going to be able to work. So
Can't
we
Bit-
would just be giving resources away.
Can't
Yeah.
Bitcoin find out if it's his or not? And
That's the weird part about it.
why
Like
can't they just say, "Hey, we know this was yours, and we can give it to you"?
it just sits out there. There's probably
So that's crazy because
there's
that
probably
means-
$1 billion worth of Bitcoin because when it first came out, because of the amount of the currency, like people don't realize, I think, that there's more than just Bitcoin as cryptocurrency. There's Ethereum, there's Dogecoin, there's a bunch of different
Yeah.
forms of cryptocurrency, but we all think it's all Bitcoin. Like it's not Band-Aid. There are adhesive bandages out there. Like
Right.
there's
Yeah.
other versions of this. So when Bitcoin came out, like there's a ton of people that were mining for it that probably have, a couple shares of Bitcoin on their computer and they were just like, whatever, and didn't think of anything of it. And they moved on to the next series of computer. That there's probably thousands of shares of Bitcoin out there that are just unclaimed that
There's-
nobody's touched.
Isn't there another guy? There's another guy who has a hard drive. He has the hard drive. He doesn't remember the password to the hard drive.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that one too.
He only
right?
has 2 attempts left, and it deletes itself. And that dude
Disgusting.
has like the same thing, like another like $200 million worth of Bitcoin.
That's got to be stressful.
Yeah. But like, how is there not like a forgot your password tab?
Really? Yeah. It's like
I don't know, man.
Like where it
That's-
links back and it
Yeah,
goes,
there's
what was
gotta
your
be-
childhood's best friend's name? And you're like, fuck, which friend did I use?
Your first.
Did I use Rob or
pet.
Luigi?
Here's one that gets me. Here's one that gets me all the time.
That.
So it asked you to put the city you were born. So I'm like, fuck, did I put Philadelphia, Philly? Like, which one did
Was
I
I
put?
lazy that day? Right.
Capitals, no capitals.
Yes.
Yeah, like, which one did I put? Damn it.
So I was born at Elkins Park Hospital. It's called Rolling Hill back in the day, but it's literally
Yeah.
a block from the city. So like sometimes I forget that I was born in Montgomery County, not in Philadelphia.
Nice.
So like I'll put it down and I'll go, I was born in Philly. That's why I was born and raised. I was only it was just the closest hospital that had a delivery room.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I was born in Montgomery County, and sometimes like on my birth certificate it says Montgomery County. Sometimes I'll put in I was born in Montgomery
Yeah,
County.
he can't be from Philly. He can't claim Philly.
I
then
can't
no
claim
more.
Philly no more.
He's
right?
out, dude. He's out.
Did I just fuck myself?
Yeah,
I
you're
feel like
out.
I did.
He's out, man.
Rob's cutting that as a sample too. I was born in Montgomery County. You son of a bitch.
59 minutes. 39 minutes and 59
39
minutes.
minutes.
What I missed, sorry. Wife didn't know
He
how
was
to turn
born
on-
in Montgomery County.
Oh,
He
okay.
can't claim Philly no more.
Can't came from Philly.
Confused jealous wife stabs husband after seeing younger self in old photos. So this bitch.
I just had this conversation with my wife. That's what I just left. Like, it was just insane.
He said, "Don't buy any whiskey.
Right.
Don't
She's watching.
burn the bank account."
Right.
Yeah. You're gonna come up with 5 bottles of whiskey. Is that what we're doing tonight?
Locks are changed.
So a woman
I got
stabbed
you
her
one
husband
too,
several
babe. I got
times.
you the Apple one.
Yeah. A woman stabbed her husband several times after thinking she found photos of him with a younger woman. It turns out that it was she herself was that other woman. The photo of the couple was taken years ago when they were dating.
Damn, this dude didn't age at all, huh?
No, he looks
He
the
looked
same.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
She doesn't realize.
She's
that
like, who's this
older.
bitch?
And these
It's
are
you,
true
bitch.
stories, too,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Can you imagine, like, as she's stabbing, and he's going, it's you.
That's fucking crazy.
She's like, yeah, all right, I'm not fucking buying that.
Oh,
And
wait a
she's just-
minute.
Just
Wait.
smoking
She was
Wait.
drinking the bad whiskey.
Wait
the
a
bad
minute.
whiskey.
Oh shit! It is me. You
Yeah,
okay?
it is me. You all right? My bad.
Your mom's trying to say that Des wrote this one.
Yeah, Des did write this one. So Des is my wife. She's a stabby bitch. I love her though, but I married crazy.
I'm about to say, are you talking about your wife here?
I am. I married crazy.
Ah.
Don't worry, they don't listen.
No.
Don't worry. We can talk shit about our wives. They don't
We're good.
listen. We're good. And it won't get back to 'em.
Which way do I go? Chick-fil-A manager, dinosaurs buttholes.
No, wait, I got one. Ready?
All right.
So you know how the lottery this week was worth $1 billion?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
How much did you play?
None.
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 I'm
I
not
put
playing it.
$20.
Okay.
I forgot.
Took a
Boy.
shot, like threw $20.
I
So-
feel like
You
only
hit?
people in Michigan and Maryland ever win.
Yeah, someone in Michigan won like $1 billion.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
But so a lottery winner claims his jackpot in a scream mask so his relatives don't recognize him.
A lot of people do that.
Dude, he's literally sitting there with the scream mask on signing the paperwork.
Yeah, a lot of people
Smart.
do that. A
Yeah, I
lot
would
of
just
people do
change
that.
my number and just get a
Man, the
not
way
e-
people can contact you now, changing your number, that's just the start of it.
So they say the first thing that actually happens, it's not even your family member. The amount of charities that reach out because it's public record, they just start hammering you right away
Yeah.
because they know that you have all this extra money and you're like fucking feeling like a fat rat, like I got to do something and I should pay it back. The amount of charities that call you right off the gate trying to get something out of you is off the charts.
I get a call every week from like the police foundation, and I'm just like, dude, stop calling.
What did you win? Did you got
No.
you got money?
No,
Oh, all
He
right.
got
I ain't got
he won a
shit.
$5 scratch off.
Something, right? Something. They're calling
they-
you for a reason.
They
I
wanted
got some
$250.
GameStop.
I think you got
Got some stocks from GameStop. That's
I
what
heard
it
about
is.
that.
All right. So
Not enough though.
not enough. It's a
Nowhere near
fraction
enough.
fraction of a share.
Yeah.
For the record, so you said you heard about it. You obviously know what's going on with GameStop.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to get into the details of what it is, but there's a thing going on with GameStop stock. Look it up. It's crazy shit that's going on right now. The stock 2 weeks ago was at like $2 a share, or $20 a share, something ridiculously low, and today it's at like 340 a share, and the company isn't worth shit. Nobody goes to GameStops anymore and buys anything. Everybody downloads it digital. It's more these people are trying to teach people a lesson. So, have you guys ever heard of Robinhood?
Yes, sir.
So, Robinhood's an app where you can get stocks free trade, so on and so forth. If you follow me, I share out the link at least once a week, because if you sign up with my link, I get a free stock and you get a free stock. So somebody posted today on Reddit, and he was like, the joke's on you, Robinhood. You had no idea this stock was going to be worth $330 today. And he's got one share of GameStop that he got for free for signing up to Robinhood.
That's funny.
But it was worth, because they thought it was like, it's a bullshit stock. It's only worth like a couple bucks. Like the stock I got when I signed up, I got Ford. It was worth $7. Right. And then somebody else signed up off of my code, and I got GoPro, and it was like $8. But this guy got a GameStop stock, and they thought they were giving him some junk. And it turns out 2 weeks later, this dude has, $330 in a free stock. It's pretty funny.
That's cool.
So last story on the way out.
The show's ending soon?
This is it, dude.
Are you serious?
This is it. Just like that.
Jeez.
The time flies when
Whiskey.
you're drinking pops, dude. Whiskey
shows are
whiskey.
So,
and you can't get the rye in the store, right?
No, they're all through me except for the first one.
How many rye bottles do you have? Just that one?
I have plenty.
He's 10 now.
Yeah, he said he had plenty. He said that confidently. We have plenty.
You got cash?
I don't have cash.
Venmo.
But who uses cash anyway nowadays?
It's all crypto.
Or stock.
That's all crypto. Like who uses
stock.
cash?
Give me stock. I'll do.
Yeah,
I'm not giving you no stock.
GameStop. You transfer a GameStop stock. All right, so this is a quick. I should have hit this when we were talking about COVID earlier, but this is just a quick thing. So down in South Carolina, have you guys seen the lines for people when they're doing the COVID shots?
I've
seen the lines on TV.
No.
So these lines are out the door. Like, it's not like a quick process. People are like, you gotta go through the whole process. So they have drive-through sites down in South Carolina, and the person who was running this drive-through vaccination site was struggling.
Okay.
Like, the lines were crazy long. People weren't going to the right spots. They weren't doing the right maneuvers that were needed. So this guy's like, this is a completely fucked up situation. I can't fix the drive-through vaccine. I don't know what to do. Who do you think he called? He called the local manager of the Chick-fil-A and said, I need to know how you guys do what you do to get people in and out. And the manager said, I'm not just going to tell you how we do it. I'm going to come the fuck down there and show you. He came down there and fixed their entire procedure and moved everybody through the line.
Really?
Love it.
Dude,
nice.
If you've got a Chick-fil-A manager that's going to a vaccine site, like, now I'm feeling like the only way that we can have successful vaccine sites is if it's ran by Chick-fil-A.
Well, you've seen, like, a lot of people have put memes and everything and
dude,
tweets and everything. Like, listen, if we just get the Chick-fil-A people out here, like, we can do anything.
Yeah, but this guy took it serious.
These are facts.
And called it. The guy was like, I can't tell you over the phone. I got to come down there.
Listen,
he fucking managed the shit out of
I've tried to tip the guys at Chick-fil-A many times before. And they're like, sorry, sir, we won't take it. I was like, damn.
Dude, listen.
Service is A1.
What the line looks like at Chick-fil-A, just wait. You're gonna be
I don't agree with that because that line is fucking retarded sometimes. I can't. I'm like, damn, that much for just a chicken sandwich? Nah, I'm good.
I don't mean that. I just mean the line, like the drive-through line.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The drive-through is insane.
So Chick-fil-A
is like the happiest place on earth.
Hell yeah. They treat you like a lost uncle when you go in there.
Right.
So back in the day, I just watched the movie The Founder. It's about Ray Kroc and how he took over McDonald's, how he built it up from whatever it was.
Okay.
And one of the big things about why McDonald's was so successful is they created this thing called the Speedy System. The Speedy System is what every fast food restaurant uses today with inside, where they have all of their stations set up and everybody maneuvers around, and that's how they can get the food out so fast. Back in the day, to get a burger, it would take you 30 minutes. They figured out how to do it in 30 seconds. Chick-fil-A did the same thing with their drive-thru. They've revolutionized how fast you can get your food in a drive-thru setting. Like, with everything going the way it is today with the pandemic, if you try to go through a drive-thru anywhere, it's a nightmare. There's nothing that pisses me off more when I try to get a cup of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts and you can't go in.
That's because you go to this one right here, don't you?
I'm 15 cars deep going, seriously, you don't need 10 bagels. You don't need 10 bagels. I can see you. I can see the car leaning on your side. You don't need it.
Right here?
I go to a bunch of different ones.
This one sucks.
They all suck.
No, this one right here sucks.
I have a new good one by me on Germantown Pike out in Montgomery County. It's
That's
quick.
the thing. They
Pretty quick.
revolutionized the drive-through. Whatever it is they did, they need to share that secret.
I'm putting
That's
a drive-through on my
I'm
distillery.
still puzzled.
I know, right?
That's serious. I was already going to do that.
I like
I was
it.
already going to have a
puzzled
thing.
when
So
I,
if like everybody wants everything instantly. If you
Oh,
got,
yeah,
you
of
got your
course.
order in already, you take all these protocols that's going on, and
One of the most amazing things I've ever seen. I went and visited a friend. This is 20 years ago. He lives in Okeechobee, Florida. If you don't know where Okeechobee, Florida is,
I do.
you look at the map of Florida. There's a big ass lake that's in the center of the state of Florida. It's huge.
Okeechobee Lake.
That's Lake Okeechobee. He
Or
lives
Lake
on the lake.
Okeechobee. Sorry.
It is.
Yeah.
He lives right on that lake. And I went down and visited him, and we don't have anything like this up here. He goes, "We're going to go to the store real quick, grab something to drink, and I got to get milk for the house." I'm like, all right. So I expected, they don't have convenience stores like we have. I asked for a Wawa. He goes, "The best we got is a Circle K."
They
I'm
do
like,
have
"What do you
Wawas
guys-"
though.
They do now. This is 20 years
Oh,
ago.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I said, "What do you guys do like after a night of drinking? Like, where do you guys go? Like, I want a meatball sandwich."
Yeah.
And they're like, "We don't have anything like that. Like, you can get like a stale hot dog from the Circle K, which is our
Stale
mobile."
hot dog.
So he takes me to this store just to grab some drinks and to grab a gallon of milk. And it was a fucking barn that you drive through. And as you get to the register, you pay out the window of the car. You tell the person, "I need a gallon of milk. I need 2 bags of Funyuns. I need 2 Slurpees, whatever." They've got 4 kids that just run through the store, grab everything, and bring it back to your car. You never get out.
Kind of like Swiss Farms and Delco.
Is that how it is? I don't know.
Do you ever see the Swiss Farms and Delco? It's drive-through convenience store, just like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I
It's
believe
a-
it.
It's a
They're
red
going with the
barn down
Wawa
there.
now.
I've been
I
through it
believe
a
it.
couple times.
I
I
drove,
believe it.
and I'm amazed by this concept. I'm like, how has nobody done this up north? And I'm like, it's probably because it's cold and you can only be open from like April till October. Like,
They have
because
the
it's just
drive-in
open
beer
straight door.
distributor at Frankfurt and
Sheffield.
Yeah, Frankfurt and Sheffield.
well, there's 2 in Frankfurt Avenue. The one by the Mayfair Mall.
Yeah, it's Frankfurt and Sheffield.
Is it?
No,
it's not.
that's
Frankfurt and
lower. Yeah.
I know what you're talking. McGee.
But it's, I mean, that
It's
beer is
Frankfurt and
cold, though.
McGee.
Yeah.
I mean,
Speedies and
you want
Antioch.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is a different
Speedies, yeah.
concept, dude. Imagine going to the grocery
Well,
store
they're
with a
doing it
list,
Wawa now,
and you
drive-thru.
literally just hand your list out the window, never get out of your car, and somebody just puts the bags in the back
Seems
and
like
you head
you're
off.
going to be sitting there for like 15, 20 minutes.
It's
then,
not,
like-
dude. It's so fast.
But now you can put it in now, put it in, and then,
And
go
then you
pick
go
it
pick it
up,
up, yeah.
and then boom.
What's the app that you can buy like beer and all like munchies and
Puff.
shit?
Go
GoPuff.
Puff.
Yeah, that's to me. It sounds like GoPuff.
Yeah, but you're going to pick it up yourself. GoPuff delivers it. to
Yeah,
you. It's
right,
different.
right.
Wait, there's an app for that?
GoPuff?
Yeah.
GoPuff.
There's an app
They don't
for
have it
everything.
in. They don't have it in our area. That's only
Hmm.
in the city.
Okay.
You can get some wild ass shit. And if you ever want to pull a good prank, if you live in an area or you have a friend that lives in an area, you can get sex toys delivered to their house or
Oh.
their job.
I saw something the other day. I
That's a
thought
good
of
prank.
doing it.
That is a great prank. Could you imagine a GoPuff driver showing up to your job with a bag for you and it's got a dildo? Like you open it up and like, the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
I saw
A lot of people just got a light bulb over top
I
of
was
their
about to
heads.
say.
Like,
I'm about to say
somebody's fucked tomorrow.
making a fun night.
I
Yeah.
saw
Dude, you could get butt plugs. You could get vibrating cock rings. You
All right,
could get
did it?
dildos.
are we
Whatever you want.
It's the pops.
so I saw
Go Puff.
Go pops.
Don't blame
I-
Pops on that. Don't
I
blame
saw
Pops.
a video yesterday about prank shit. I was gonna so one said it was like the COVID test or something, but the other one was like a congratulatory thing. So I was thinking I was gonna send it to our buddy who just bought a house, and it's a chocolate.
That
dick.
dude's not my friend anymore. He
It's a
moved too far away.
chocolate. It's a chocolate dick, but you don't know what it is when you open the box. It's just a chocolate dick, and it says "suck on me." I was gonna send it to him, but then I was like, "Wait, he'll know it's one of like 2 people because we're the only ones who know his address."
Yeah.
Stupid.
Our friend moved out to Perky Yeomanville, and I basically told him when I saw him, I'm like, "You're just my plumber now. We're no longer friends." We had a good run. It's 20 years. It's a 40-mile drive, and I'm not going out to visit the dude.
Was it 40 miles?
It's 40 miles from my house.
Get a tent when it's nice out and stay a weekend.
We talked about tenting in his backyard and doing a like a traditional pig roast, but I just figure I can just throw the friendship away. I'm done with it. It's too
Not
far of
worth
a
it.
drive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride my bike from my house to his house.
Too far of a drive.
Not making it.
33 miles.
That's what I say is I'm
Take a
making
couple days.
I'll make it. 33 miles. It's all good.
Wow, for me.
weirdos. It was a fun show. Check out Nate Moss and the Money Pot podcast. You can
Before
find
before we go,
Yeah.
got some plays.
Oh,
Got some plays. I want to give you some freebies. So make sure you guys check me out. Obviously on all social media platforms, Money Pop Podcast. What we do on our show is we teach people how to gamble smart and responsibly. Obviously, there's a lot of people gambling right now. If you didn't know, Jersey just posted their last month numbers. They did $1 billion in sports betting.
Wow.
Just Jersey, little shitty ass Jersey. No offense to anybody from Jersey, but $1 billion. So I got 2 plays for you guys tonight. We got North Carolina State -7.5, and the Boston Celtics -4.5. And I know big game tonight, Sixers and the Lakers. Not touching it. Don't know nothing about that. I think the Sixers will be up for that game, but it is the Lakers, so I'm not sure. That's a short line. I think it's a 4.5. But I like what I say? I didn't say North Carolina.
NC State.
NC State.
The Wolfpack.
The Wolfpack at -7.5, and the Boston Celtics at -4.5. Those are my 2 plays for the night. Check it out for free. Make some money with me. Check me out on YouTube.
Boom.
And then Jay Fogg from Pops McCann. Where can
Thank
they find you? Where can they get your stuff?
They can get the original Pops McCann spiritual whiskey in the state stores, PLCB stores, and 170 stores. You can reach out to me and I can help you. And also, these 4 new ones are all direct through me, through the Pennsylvania produced, manufactured distillery situations I got going on, and get it right to you. And I can be just like Go Puff. It'll be Go Pops, and we'll get it right to your doorstep.
They can find that at Pops McCann's Facebook page. They can find you. Is there a website they can go to?
PopsMcCannWhiskey.com. You can find me anything at Pops McCann Whiskey on any social media site. And, we can start communicating and figuring out,
The
what we need to do. Yeah,
and
everything.
The next time you see Pops will be Friday nights, 10 o'clock, Money Pop Podcast, YouTube.
My man, thank you. I really
sure.
appreciate it. And all the kind words. Thank you all.
For sure.
And we'll see you guys all next week.
Cheers.
See you guys.